We're going to talk about how to get user input while the script is running. So far, we learned how to get user input at the command line which runs the script. For this, we're going to use a bash command called read. Now I'm going to show you some code that has a bash read statement in it. Okay, let's look at the code. Echo, how many fingers do you have? Read, number of fingers. Echo, are you overweight? Your response will be hidden as you type it. Read with the S flag. And this time the variable is going to be called is overweight. So notice the read statement stops execution and waits for input. And it is done giving you a chance to make input when you press the return key, which is the end of line. Then it saves the whole string which you type at the command line in a variable with this name, num of fingers. The S option is for silent. It won't show you what you're typing. The P option is for prompt. So whatever option you supply with the P flag will be the prompt. And what you type will be saved in this variable here, tree type, for this command. Okay, and then we're echoing out the value of the variables, and here we're echoing all of them out in a sentence. Let's see how this works. How many fingers? 7. Are you overweight? This will be a silent response. Which kind of tree? Now this is the read with the P option. So we do our input on the same line because all it does is have a prompt in front of what normally would be an empty line. So I have a oak tree. Alright? And there's the output. 7, always oak. You have 7 fingers, always overweight, and have an oak tree in front of your house. If you want to learn about making more sophisticated interactive scripts, check out the Bash Guide for Beginners, Chapter 8, at this URL up here. You have another option for getting input. You can get the input in a menu style using a bash select statement. Okay, the select statement is used in bash for presenting a selection menu to the user. The syntax is like this. You have the word select, then you have a name, which is the name of the variable in which the choice the user makes will be stored. Then, after the keyword in, you have the choices as strings. You'll also need a do loop with a break in it. And right here is where you would enter the code that gets executed. So here we're going to execute the statement echo you chose and then the choice that the user made. Let me show you how this works. I'm going to run the script. And the select statement gives me the choices and it waits for my input. So let's say I chose 2 and then I hit enter. So we go to the do loop and we execute the echo statement inside of it and then we break out. So our output is you chose extra small. Here's a different example. The choices now are a bit different. The name of the variable is different. We still have the do loop, but inside the do loop we have a case statement. Okay, and as with the previous example, we have a break in here. However, this break will not occur unless the user chooses choice number 4. Okay, so the do loop just keeps repeating and repeating. For each iteration, the value for the vehicle type is going to be whatever the user has chosen. So if it reaches, let's say the user chose 1, which is Honda. Okay, it will echo out Honda, and then it will exit the case, but then it will repeat again. This time the user may choose Toyota, which is number 2. Same thing will happen. The case will exit, then the do loop will continue. If the user enters 4, where vehicle type will be stop, then we break out of the do loop. And the 5th choice, if the user enters a 5 or a 6 or whatever else, which will not be one of the choices, then this will happen. It will echo out what you entered was not one of the choices. Okay, let's see what this looks like. I'm going to run the script. If I enter 1, you've selected Honda. Enter 3, you selected Ford. And notice while it's in the loop, it keeps providing you with the prompt, but it doesn't give you the full menu. If I select 8, which is not one of the choices, I get what you entered was not a choice. Now if I enter a 4, then it breaks out of the loop. That's it for getting user input interactively.